Benjamin Jacobs. I am I'm chief rabbi in Holland. I'm the president of the Irgun, the Vaad HaRabbanim from Holland. I'm very happy to be here in the Kinus because it's, everybody, each rabbi is sitting in his own place and is alone and has a lot of problems with the anti-Semite and with the assimilation. So if you get together, you can hear from other rabbis how they are dealing with it, what are the problems they've got, and we can help each other. And I think that's the main issue from this very large kinus, but not only here. Because we are here, we meet each other later on during the year, we know where to go. Where, if I have a problem with a mikveh, I know to whom I can go for help. If I have a problem with the anti-Semite or with Shchita or Brit Milah, I know where to go. And then the members, for the staff members of the Rabbinical Center of Europe, RCE, they come and help. So, for me, the lectures are great, and the friendship is great. But the most thing I got from this kinus is that afterwards, when I go back to my place and other rabbis go back to their places, then we know where to turn to in case of problems. I myself, I'm the lucky position that I also can help other rabbis. So very often I go to the Ukraine, I have to go to Basel, I went to different places in Holland, in Europe, and they asked me to come and be supportive on certain fields. Well, if you look at the situation in Holland, or in Holland, in the whole of Europe, once upon a time, you could say someone could be anti-Zionistic, but doesn't mean he's anti-Semitic. But today, it's the same. Yeah, in theory, you can make a difference between anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism, but today it's the same. I remember I gave once a talk, in Dutch, of course, to a group of Christian people, non-Jewish, Gentile people. And they gave me a compliment that my Dutch is so brilliant. I said, thank you very much, but, I am Dutch, born for 10 generations living already in Holland. Oh, he said, we thought you are Jewish. Because for a lot of Christian, non-Jewish people, being Jewish and being born in Israel is the same. So that's a difficult issue. Because something happens in Europe, just for my own case. If I want to know if there are any problems in Israel, I just have to look how often does the police surround my house. My house in Europe is surrounded by cameras of the police driving around it, and if there's more pressure, more possible fights, or possible war, in Israel, then I see more often police coming to my house. So, another little story, perhaps it's strange for you to hear it like that. My granddaughter, a little girl from 4, we went to London. Her parents, my son and my daughter-in-law, went with her to London. In London, there are other family, and my granddaughter from 4 wanted to see the school where her nephews and cousins are going to school. So my son brought my granddaughter from 4 to the school, to the Jewish school, and she said, "Daddy, that isn't a Jewish school, because no soldiers are standing in front of the building." In Holland, the Jewish schools is surrounded by a fence, police cameras, shomerim, and soldiers. That the very fact, I'm now 43 years in Holland. 43 years ago, it was unthinkable, such a thing. It was unthinkable that people call me dirty Jew in the street. Today, it's just normal. And the very fact it's normal, that's a very, very negative issue. And we see a growing anti-Semitism, a growing intolerance towards Jewish communities and Jews in general. That's worrying, but nevertheless, being here on the Kinus, we give each other strength and power to continue our work, because even if I would say everybody should go to Israel, what Mirz Hashem, Bish Mashiach Tzidkenu, it will happen like that. But meanwhile, still a lot of Jews are living in Galut, and they don't want to go away. So we should stay there till the last one has gone. But till that time, we have to deal with assimilation, with anti-Semitism, with politics, with Shchita, Brit Milah. All those issues are coming. I'm not saying that everybody who is against Shchita is anti-Semitic. It's not like that. But the very fact that anti-Semitism, that parties want to ban, to stop Shchita and stop Brit Milah, that is a sign of the beginning of anti-Semitism. So that is, this kinus gives me and all the people who are here strength and power to go back to our places and to continue our work in Galut.